One, go. Good afternoon, I'm Michael from the Sew In Place, and today I'm going to talk a little more about the new Miyabi by Juki. This is their top of the line long arm sewing machine. You can find out a lot more about it by going to our website, www.sewnplace.com. That's SEWNPLACE.com. I want to first talk to you about this being basically an upgraded Juki 2200 QVP, which was their top of the line long arm. I've been selling that long arm since the very beginning and have always been incredibly impressed with the quality that Juki has made in all their products, but of course with this one especially. And what I find with this one is that a lot of long armors out there will tell me, well, I can't use this thread or I can't use that thread. And what has been consistent with this machine is that all of our customers have been able to use a variety of threads without any issue. And I think that's a testament to the type of quality that Juki has always maintained in all of their products. You see, Juki's a fairly old company, and though they originally started with home sewing machines, they've been making some of the finest industrial sewing machines on the planet. And to make such machines, they have to have a level of precision that is second to none. So they have built that type of precision into this machine. So the Miyabi is going to feature an 18-inch throat space. It's going to be 10 inches high. It is also an oil-free machine in the sense that you don't have an oil pan. You're not going to have oil spilling out everywhere. So they're sealed bearings, which means it's going to be very low maintenance for you, the end user. They also have an M-class bobbin. So this is a larger bobbin than your typical sewing machine, which is very important for the quilter to have. We're going to have really nice LED lighting and a nice table that comes with the machine. This is extendable. They sell additional wings to make this a larger work surface. You obviously can use cones on this because it is a setup for the high-speed industrial type sewing. There are no belts per se in this machine that you have to worry about. Some machines out there will have belts that may wear or come loose in years to come. This particular machine has a direct drive motor, so the motor is basically attached to the shaft directly inside the machine. We have pre-tensioners on the machine which help ease that thread more perfectly and give us a more consistent stitch. It's going to have a hand wheel here as well as the back side. Now, one of the nice things about this particular machine is it's not only created as a sit-down unit, this can also be used on their long 10-foot frame. So it's not a unitasker. A lot of times a sit-down long arm is only going to be available as that particular type of product. But this one, there is a kit available to take this off, to install handlebars, and to use it on a 10-foot, 12-foot frame, whatever size you need. So with that being said, this is their newest incarnation of the 2200, and it is called the Miyabi, and basically it is a stitch regulated sit-down machine. The way it's making this stitch regulated is by using optical sensors. So the machine is in essence seeing how fast you're moving the fabric. Because it's seeing that, if you move faster, it can literally make that motor sew faster, so that your stitches stay consistent. If you move slower, the motor will actually move slower. It is a very responsive motor, not like a typical home sewing machine motor. It has what we call a servo motor. And a servo motor can instantly get up to speed and instantly go back down to a very slow speed. So it's a much more responsive motor than your typical home sewing machine motors. So with having a servo motor, we get more precise stitch regulation. So when you're using this, as you can tell, when I sew faster, the machine sews faster. When I sew slower, the machine sews slower. And thus that's what regulates the stitch sizes. Juki also has high-speed industrial thread cutters built into this machine. With a push on the screen, I'm able to cut, and it will pull the threads nicely to the back of the fabric. I can simply begin sewing then and the thread is held and in place so that I can simply start sewing without grabbing that hand wheel and pulling it up. Now obviously there are people out there that may want to pull that up, and that's certainly something you can do using the needle up and needle down feature on the machine. So that's done right on the screen here. So if I wanted to pull the thread up, I could hold the top thread and just basically use the needle up down button and then draw my threads into the fabric. So the screen's fairly intuitive. It's very easy to operate. Here we can see the stitch size. So if I want my stitches to be longer, basically we're going to a smaller number because this is saying stitches per inch. So there's 7 stitches to the inch at that particular setting. Whereas if I back that or raise that to a higher number, you will notice now that the stitches are much closer together. So very easy to use there. This is the precise mode. When we're using the precise mode, we basically start the machine by tapping the pedal. And let me make a little longer stitch. And it is turned on. We know that because the screen has a little green dot in the corner. And in precise mode, if I stop moving, the machine will stop. If I begin movement again, the machine will then begin movement. So it's stopping as we stop. We have also the cruise mode. The cruise mode is where we decide that we want the machine to run, or as we call idle or hover, at a consistent speed when we're not moving. So when I turn it on, now it is moving at 5%. Every time I stop, it continues to move at that idle speed of 5% because that's what I've set it at. I can change that to 10, 15, or 20. Obviously, that can impact your stitch regulation. So personally, I don't recommend that you go to the higher speeds like this because, again, if I move super duper slow, we really have eliminated stitch regulation because we're setting that at a 20% speed. We have a basting mode, which allows us to make very long stitches for basting our quilts together, as well as an unregulated mode, which says manual, and basically then we can run that at any consistent speed that we like. Thread cutter is here, tells us what the bobbin thread is looking like right now. So basically I am at 80% full, which is, let's calculate it, 82 yards. So
is there anything,
that's basics of the machine. I'm Michael again from Sew in Place. If you have some questions, give us a call, 717-352-3050. Thank you.